You've likely crossed paths with someone like this in the shadows of everyday life. A man steps into a dimly lit room, unassuming and quiet, yet the air thickens with unspoken tension. Heads turn, not out of curiosity, but an instinctive pull, as if his mere arrival disrupts the fragile balance. He surveys the space with a gaze like weathered stone, calm, unyielding, as though the world itself recoils to grant him passage. On paper, he might be insignificant, a forgotten name in the crowd, but in that fleeting moment, his presence looms large, defying logic. You watch from the edges, a knot of envy tightening in your chest, whispering questions into the void. How does he command this without effort? Why do others bow to his shadow before he even speaks? The bitter truth emerges like a slow poison. He isn't superior in intellect or merit. He simply embodies a forbidden art you ignore. He moves as if no soul could eclipse him, and the cruel world, ever eager to follow strength, accepts this illusion as gospel. You've been chained by teachings of patience and humility, urged to let deeds whisper your worth. But in this unforgiving theater, the world scorns whispers, devouring the hesitant while elevating the bold. Reality doesn't linger for your hidden tales of struggle. It devours the signals you broadcast in silence. It deciphers your slumped shoulders, your wavering voice, the way you evade eyes like a thief in the night. Your presence, that spectral messenger, precedes every word, painting you as worthy or worthless in strokes of unspoken judgment. If it murmurs uncertainty, the world brands you an outsider, discarding your inner brilliance like ashes in the wind. Thus, the mantra to act as the unmatched isn't hollow encouragement. It's a grim shield against oblivion. Power isn't seized after victory. It's forged in the pretense that victory is already yours, prying open doors rusted shut by doubt. This feels like a macabre performance, and perhaps it is, where masks conceal the trembling beneath. Yet performance isn't deceit. It's a deliberate haunting, a summoning of belief from the audience's reluctant souls. Like actors in a tragic play, they commit to the role, drawing others into their somber illusion. You must mirror this, for in life's shadowed stage, the reluctant are condemned to the wings, their genius rotting unseen. The world doesn't honor raw talent. It kneels to the illusion of certainty, ignoring the right but faltering, while embracing the wrong but resolute. Reflect on the ghosts of chances you let slip through trembling fingers, convinced you weren't forged for the fray. Recall conversations where your voice died unborn, strangled by the fear of unworthiness. Remember the endless nights of toil, only to watch lesser shadows claim the throne you built, their audacity a blade you never wielded. This realm offers no merciful invitations. It rewards only those who storm the gates unbidden. The triumphant aren't always the gifted. They're the deceivers who convince the world of their inevitability. They tread with the weight of entitlement, speak as if defying them invites ruin, and carry invisible crowns that the masses eventually crown with gold. It's no enchantment, but a relentless forging in the dark, repeating the facade until belief hardens into fact. You protest your lack of inner fire, but that's the trap. Act the part first, not to fool the fools, but to exorcise your own demons. You're not pretending, you're clawing your way from the abyss, sculpting presence like a grave marker for your former self. Every gesture etches this new reality. Entrances that demand notice, handshakes like pacts with fate, words that linger like echoes in empty halls. Humans in their hurried despair skim surfaces, responding to the superficial gleam rather than buried depths. Not from spite, but survival's cold efficiency, we judge by fleeting cues, the slump of defeat, the quiver of doubt, the avoidance of confrontation. This isn't hubris. It's the grim arithmetic of assumption. Assume your dominance, and the world twists to match, reflecting back a distorted empire. Assume your smallness, and it crushes you further, amplifying every apology into a eulogy for your potential. You're not a passive wanderer. You're a projector in this dim theater, and the screen echoes only what you cast, not dreams, but the stark signals of self-worth. So assume the throne, not to crush the weak, but to escape the grave of underestimation. Power isn't a gift from benevolent fates. It's seized in the silence before the storm, by those daring enough to claim it. Consider those hollow victors who dominate with empty offerings, their vague mutterings exalted while your meticulous labors dissolve into nothingness. It's not your mind that fails, but the aura of hesitation that precedes it. The world hungers for anchors in the chaos, and your projected certainty becomes their reluctant salvation. Imperfections be damned. Confidence, then, is no distant reward. It's the prerequisite for survival in this bleak arena. Leadership demands you feign readiness amid the terror, turning lies into prophecies through sheer repetition. This is how mediocrity commands legions, while genius fades into footnotes. Broadcast signals overpowering hidden substance. Claim spaces without invitation. Speak as if your place is eternal, bearing no burden of proof. Hesitation leaks like blood from wounds, signaling weakness that invites demotion and doubt. Humans, primal in their wiring, flock to perceived strength, creating orbits around your gravity. Never await celebration to stand as conqueror. Seize silence as a blade, letting deliberate quiet breed intrigue in the void. Upon entry, occupy fully, with unyielding spine, measured breath, piercing gaze, initiating dialogues before lips part. Infuse speech with self-belief's weight, as if ignoring you courts doom. People crave direction from the seemingly anointed, handing crowns to those already adorned in illusion. Enact this not from arrogance, but weary understanding of the game, refusing the sidelines where lesser souls steal your due. All are pretenders in this masquerade. Even idols once quaked in uncertainty, their conviction a veil over chaos. They grasped that belief warps the fabric of existence, not vice versa. Treat confidence as a somber ritual, awkward at first, straightening against inner quakes, voicing amid tremors, locking eyes against instinct. Repetition alchemizes act into essence, transforming deception into destiny. You teach the world your worth and yourself in turn, building reputations on unyielding echoes. Witness the assured entrant, paths parting without plea, deference born from invisible contagion. Contrast the shrunken soul, smiles masking erasure, room responding with forgetful cruelty. This self-sabotage is elective. Choose instead to rise from assumed sufficiency. The world mirrors self-treatment. Enter without diminishment, striding as if your greatness is axiom. Power reflects broadcasts. Fear begets exile. Assurance summons thrones. Declare with every shadowed step, ceasing permissions for existence, letting discomfort be another's burden. Power evades the deserving, claiming those who radiate unapologetic belief, ending self-doubt's tyranny. Not a contest of virtue, but perception's dark bend. Project conviction calmly, purposeful strides, unshakable poise, and responses follow. Drop habits of apology, broadcast necessity, and worlds adapt. Certainty repeated solidifies into truth, shifting fates from overlooked to iconic. Assume power relentlessly until it's your sole silhouette. Stride as if unmatched, teaching submission through example. Power is assumed, not granted. The first to dare it reigns. Now, in this ending hush, who will you become? The lingering shadow of hesitation, or the force that reshapes the dark?